incident-free. If you're having an issue at any time that needs to be addressed, please text the word Trailblazers along with your issue and seat location to 55555. And a guest experience member will respond immediately. The National Basketball Association and the Portland Trailblazers are committed to a safe and enjoyable sports experience. We therefore...
Welcome, everyone, to NBA basketball on 2K Sports. I'm Brian Anderson with Stan Van Gundy and Hall of Famer Grant Hill. Allie LaForce will be reporting from the sidelines. Shorter rotation player, next man up mentality, though. It does shrink their margin for error just a bit.
Compensating for the absence of a key player can be tough, but they've got to hold strong.
And checking out the New Orleans opening lineup. Murray and McCollum make up the talented backcourt. Zion Williamson out there with Trey Murphy, and it's Messi in at the 5, down low. And for Portland, Scoot and Sharp are the backcourt set. Avdia out there with Klingon, and it's Kamare in at the small forward position. Well, if you followed MP on his path to the NBA, you know the one criticism of his game is that he can defer too often, Grant.
And at times, I think that's been a fair criticism. But you'd rather have MP trying to involve his teammates too much than not at all. People had the same complaint about LeBron early in his career, and that worked out fine.
Tip-off goes to New Orleans. And both backcourts in this one stand cream of the crop.
Well, a lot of people would say that this is a guard-oriented league. I think it's a league of all the positions. But tonight, certainly, whoever can win that guard battle will probably go home with the W.
Certainly the headliner tonight. Here's Messi. And that one's long. Here's Kamare. Avdia outside. This one for 3. And the three-pointer goes.
He's consistent from out there, especially when you give him that kind of room.
And here's Williamson. He'll bring it up for the Pelicans. It's a three-point game. Here's Murray. It's hauled in by Henderson. Here in the first, a little over a minute played so far. Here's Avdia, and that one makes him 2 for 2. He's in his rhythm.
Yeah, that's a nice hustle play, but boy, it drives a coach crazy to concede second chance points.
There's McCollum with the 3. And again, New Orleans, no good.
They haven't been able to find their rhythm. That's 3 straight misses now.
Well, one of the sharpest players off the floor, C.J. McCollum.
Well, Brian, he also did a great job as president of the Players Union, and he's great on his podcast, too.
I'm sure he'll be doing games with you suited up after his playing career.
Yeah, I just hope he's not taking my job.
Allie LaForce had a chance to catch up with head coach Chauncey Billups. Allie, what do you have to say?
And we got right to it. The question of how do you stop Zion? From what Coach told me, it's all about being physical. He said, we're not going to let him run us over in the lanes or just stomp us inside. We're going to fight back hard. So it sounds like Coach is expecting high effort physically from his team.
Thank you for that, Allie.
Zion giving the people what they want and making it look easy.
Back to Henderson. Fires the 3. Messi grabs the board. For New Orleans, they've gone 1 of 4 to begin this one. Outside Murray. Elbow shot. The 3 ball. Count it. And that shot gets him in the books. He's 1 for 3.
Well, you know, one thing that makes Murray a great player, he can score with or without the ball.
Henderson outside. Pass to Klingon. And here's Sharp. McCollum defends.
2 minutes.
Here's Kamari, 6 to shoot. They get it back. Avdia outside. Here's Klingon. Avdia against Williamson. Down low. Klingon. They shoot again! Murray brings the double, and we're going to have a jump ball.
Jump ball.
So it's Portland now. Avdia passes to Henderson. 5 on the clock. Let's go with a 3. Misi grabs the board. New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Murray from outside. Avdia pulls it in.
Well, he certainly had trouble finding the mark this quarter.
1:03 left in the first. Pass to Klingon. And he bangs it home with one hand.
And at his size, Klingon is always an above-the-rim threat.
Back to Murray. He can't get it to fall.
It's been an ugly quarter for him. Trying to shoot his way out of it. Might be time to work on the playmaking skills.
Here's Kamari. To the inside. Here's Klingon. It's hauled in by New Orleans. Well, they put up a nice win against Chicago last time out.
It always helps when your opponent turns the ball over that many times. I thought it was the deciding factor overall.
Yeah, you got to think Coach will show this one as an example of what not to do. You got to take care of the ball.
Now here's Murray. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Chicago.
And his effort carried over to the defensive end. He came away with 3 steals and was a pest in general all night. The PA, when he gets the rim in his sights, it's tough to stop.
So aggressive and a determined finisher. Nice. 1 quarter in the books, and it's been a close one. It's the Trailblazers. They lead by a bucket. Stay with us now as we get set to bring you quarter number 2 after this. And some good action in the books as we get back to a game that's been pretty close so far here. And what stands out to you from the Trailblazers in this one?
Well, it looks like hitting the boards hard was an emphasis of their attack. They knew how valuable it was to do so.
Yeah, we're not surprised by this. These guys work hard and they are physical.
Okay, on the court right now, second quarter for the Pelicans. Alvarado and McCollum comprise the backcourt. Then it's Kelly Olynyk, and it's Boston in at the small forward position. And let's send it over to Allie LaForce.
The Blazers have a lot to learn. Coach Chauncey Billups said, I owe it to these players to coach them. The only way I know to do that is with honesty. It's always coming from a good place. Once you know that, then you take it with love. I lead with love. I don't lead with fear. Brian?
That's a Hall of Fame mentality, Allie. He's been in their shoes. DeJounte Murray's checked in for New Orleans.
Now a veteran in this league, Olynyk has carved out a nice role for himself thanks to his hustle and versatile skill set.
And Grant, you look at the players the Pelicans have gone after recently. They have a clear plan.
Well, they do, B.A. They want to surround Zion with shooters, which, of course, makes sense. It's sort of the same kind of blueprint the Bucks laid out with Giannis. If you can shoot, the Pelicans have a spot for you.
Well, it took him a while to get his legs under him. He didn't do much in the first quarter, but now he's off and running.
Pass to Murray. Lets it go from deep. Count it. Make that 3 of 7 so far for him.
Exchanging buckets from downtown. That's been a staple of tonight's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get a stop first.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
Pelicans trail by 4. McCollum outside. Misses the three.
This has been a close game in a lot of ways, but they do have an edge on the boards.
The Trailblazers have gone 3 of 5 since the beginning of the second. Here's Coffey. Another three for Portland.
Their ball movement on this run has been tremendous. It's led to a lot of good, clean, open looks.
And here's New Orleans now. They trail by 7. This, of course, their first opportunity to play Portland this season.
Last season, this was a surprisingly difficult matchup for them. Lost every game against this team.
Murray passes to Olynyk. Launches a three. Coffey grabs a board. On offense, here are the Trailblazers. They're on a 12-3 run. Simon's shot is good. And this early in the season, there are still so many unknowns, Grant.
You're right. You learn a little about each team in the preseason. But once the games count, things really start coming into focus.
And we've got a timeout called by Willie Green. He wants a few moments to regroup with his players. And we're joined now by Shams Charania. He's calling in with a story. Good to have you, Shams. What's going on?
Well, guys, the Blazers with a draft night trade for two-way wing Denny Avdia, a young but established player on a value contract. Portland's added a guy who should help them win now and down the line. Guys, it appears Avdia is going to be a pretty seamless fit for Portland.
All right, Shams, thank you. Big group substitution here for Portland. Klingon, he's checked in for DeAndre Ayton. Avdia comes in for Williams. Sharp, he's checked in for Kamara. And it's Henderson in for Simons. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second. Left side Olynyk. Back to Alvarado. Pass to Williamson. 6 on the shot clock. Olynyk with a screen on Avdia. Williamson for 3. It's hauled in by Henderson.
Good job hitting the glass. They're +8 in rebounding.
The third pick in 2023. Henderson anointed as a franchise piece, but he took his lumps in year 1, Stan.
Well, Brian, look, the hardest position to play in the NBA is as a point guard. And so this guy has the athleticism and the skill, but there's so much to learn in terms of decision-making. This guy's going to be a very good player.
They are really struggling to stop this run.
Well, this is a spot where you have to be able to go to your leaders. They need to step up and make a play to turn things around.
Avdia, good.
Have to take care of the defensive boards better than that.
Yeah, they need to pay attention to the details. Second chance points are backbreakers.
Murray with it. Give him 8 points now. And again, New Orleans no good.
Ooh, that's a tough break. After poor communication defensively, it leaves him all by himself.
Well, they have leaned on him offensively with good reason. Efficiency will help you win a lot of games.
And it's Willie Green calling the timeout here. He wants to review the game plan. He's checked in for Portland. Now, since we have this break, here are the teams with the most points off turnovers last season. 5th, New Orleans.
And whenever you turn the ball over against them, they pushed it right back at you. Last year, they were just merciless at exploiting teams whenever they made mistakes against them.
And here's Williamson. He'll bring it up for New Orleans. 17-point game. There's 48 seconds left in the second quarter. Inside. Parked it down low that time. Got hit with the 3-second call.
When you're trying to cut into a lead, you can't afford that kind of mistake.
Yeah, that's just a lack of focus. Plays like that can really frustrate a coaching staff.
Murray against Henderson. Back to Avdia. To the paint. Pass to Klingon. It's Avdia on the wing. Off the mark there with a 3. Pelicans trail by 17. Williamson outside. Now here's McCollum. To halt the run. That one doesn't drop. Here's Kamari. And so it's Portland looking in total control with this 17-point advantage as the buzzer sounds. And they've got a comfortable lead in large part due to their 3-point shooting. Back after this.
Welcome, one and all. Before we hear Kenny and Shaq's insights on that first half, let's look ahead and check out the upcoming schedule.
And taking a look at the Trailblazers, they started the season on a high note. Now they look to improve to 2-0.
Yeah, they look strong in their first matchup, played with a lot of energy. We'll see if it carries over into this one.
Let's move on now to that first half we were watching. A brutal game so far for the Pelicans.
I'll say this. Yeah, you want to protect the paint. But when you're getting killed from long range, you have to make the adjustment defensively. They're not going to win like this.
Seems highly unlikely, indeed. That's it for us. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's send you over to Brian Anderson with the third period.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Portland leading by 17. And when you talk about this Portland team, Stan, they're young and talented. They have some nice pieces going forward.
Yeah, and Brian, it starts with Scoot Henderson and Anthony Simons in that backcourt, but Shaedon Sharpe, when healthy, they've got some good pieces to build around.
Scoot and Sharpe are the backcourt set. Klingin out there with Avdia, and it's Kamari in at the 3. That's the group in the game for the Trailblazers. And let's swing it over to the sideline and hear from Allie.
Zion Williamson is a one-of-one. His teammate C.J. McCollum told him, your ceiling is unlike anything the NBA has ever seen, but it's up to you to take full advantage of whatever it is. You can be as good as you want to be. This game will go where you take it. Brian?
You know, Allie, at his best, he is unstoppable. Williamson looking around. Outside Murray. Over Henderson. Rebounded by Kamari.
Well, his shot selection's been poor. If I were coaching this team, he'd be sitting next to me.
The 6-footer. And Avdia finishes it off. Avdia's got 4 points this quarter.
The assist numbers certainly stand out. They've really emphasized ball movement here today.
McCollum against Sharpe. Shot's good by McCollum.
Well, that's the thing about McCollum. He can absorb the contact and still complete the play.
Outside Sharp. 2 minutes gone in this third quarter now. Pass to Kamari. Avdia outside. The putback. McCollum pulls it in. Pelicans trail by 19. Offensively, it's been a struggle for them.
Yeah, they need to string together some shots to have any kind of chance. 1 for 4 in the second half. Just trying to get into a rhythm.
Here's Kamari. Second half of play here with just under 2.5 minutes passed. The Pelicans have gotten only 1 of 4 shots to fall in the second half. Pass to Misi, and you played for several different coaches with very different philosophies, Grant. Did you have a favorite system?
Well, you know, B.A., I did. I played 19 years, a number of different coaches, but the 8 seconds or less offense back when I was with the Suns as a player, you want to run, and honestly, it's so much fun getting up and down the court like that.
And we've got a timeout called by Willie Green. He's going to talk it over with his guys. One guy here this evening, Shaedon Sharpe, incredibly talented, Stan.
Hey, Brian, you talk about a guy with potentially a very high ceiling. He's got all the physical tools you need. His skills are improving. He's still young and still putting it together.
Let's see how the dance moves. Somebody doesn't have rhythm.
And some changes here for Portland. Williams has checked in for Avdia. Coffee comes in for Kamara. And Simon has subbed in for Henderson. And a change for the Pelicans. Alvarado's checked in for Murray. Right around 3 minutes into this second half.
2 minutes.
Alvarado outside. Here's McCollum. And again, New Orleans no good.
And they're up considerably because of their efforts on the glass.
Well, last season, New Orleans finished with their best record since 2009. Stan, they went 49-33.
Well, you have to credit their roster construction. They've got 3 guys who can average 20-plus points, along with a lot of very solid young defenders, and these guys are only getting better.
Shut out from beyond the arc in the first period, he finally drains one. He's been so aggressive on offense, and with the results, you understand why.
Well, yeah, and the defense is going to have to respond to that and chase him off the arc.
Here's the pick. To the middle. Here's Misi. Oh, a great 1-2 punch. Beautiful pass and a nasty jam.
Excellent movement on the play. The pass on time and on point.
And the basket by Coffee.
This defense just can't stay connected to shooters.
50 seconds left in the third quarter. Williamson against Williams. And he got the whistle on the way up, so he'll be headed to the line for a pair. Well, Coach, Zion is always must-see TV when he plays. It's his availability that is questioned.
Yeah, it is, Brian, but he's been healthier. And when he plays, There's nobody like him in the NBA with that size, skill, and force.
Aiden, he's checked in for Portland. Grant comes in for Sharp. Zion Williamson seems intent on silencing all the doubters moving forward, Grant.
Yeah, B.A., he's not taking any more questions about conditioning. His physicality and play really answered that question now. He has been looking better than ever.
Now here's McCollum. Tight defense on him, and he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. 2 seconds separating the shot clock and the game clock. And the basket by Coffey.
12 consecutive points off of threes. This defense looks rattled.
New Orleans is gone, only 1 of 3 from deep here in the third. Here's McCollum, and McCollum slams it in.
Well, McCollum very smooth with the handle, creating the separation he needs.
The shot's good. Coffey's got 17 now, just in the second half.
And since the halftime break, their offense has just been on another level.
Well, the coaching staff made some adjustments for the second half, and they've come out with focus and execution.
At the end of the third quarter, a huge lead. This one may have already been decided. Portland ahead, running away with it. And right after this, we'll bring you the start of the final quarter right here on 2K Sports. And while we have a chance, let's go to our State Farm assist of the game.
Yeah, just shredding the defense with that feed. Zero chance to stop that.
Now that is an elite level dish. What a great passer.
And as we head into the fourth, we'll see if there's a comeback in the works or if it's more of the same for the first 3 quarters. On the court for the Pelicans, getting the fourth quarter going. And we haven't seen a new franchise join the NBA stand since the Charlotte Bobcats in 2003. 20 years later, though, things seem to be percolating a bit.
Well, you've seen it, Brian. There's some deep pockets out there and some great markets, all vying to get into the action. And we know that the NBA is all about growth.
New Orleans is shooting a low 30% from the floor. Murray looking around. Looking to end this cold spell. Shots blocked! And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pelicans will retain possession here. And now it's time to take another view of that huge swat.
Amazing indeed. And getting stops like that only encourages them to keep attacking on the offensive end.
Clock at 6. It's rebounded by Grant.
And they need his offense right now, but his shot is just not falling.
Good! Another from 3.
All game long, the threes have been pouring in for him. There is nothing stopping his shot.
And you know this is already a game he'll never forget. He's trying to make it a game the world never forgets. Murray from outside sends it home from three-point land.
Well, that's now his 3rd triple of the game, first here in this second half.
And again for 3.
The parade of threes has no end in sight. He just keeps knocking them down.
And that latest triple ties him for 2nd for most threes in a game. What a monster performance from deep it's been. And you see player training methods, Grant, a lot more than just running and getting shots up.
And you know, B.A., what interests me, players not just training their bodies better than ever, but also their minds. They're working on hand.
Connects again from distance.
He is completely dialed in from deep.
And by the way, with that make, he's now alone in 2nd place for most threes in a game. At this point, you have to go for that top spot, right?
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
And it's good! He hits another one!
My goodness, 50 for the game.
Just putting on a show. And so Murray will bring it up for New Orleans. We're in the 4th quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone by. Fires for three. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers.
It's hard not to want payback when you give up a three at the other end, but it can force you to rush things. Coming down the stretch, they've leaned on the perimeter game.
Well, if you're looking to get points in a hurry as the game clock's running down, that's certainly the way to do it.
Outside Olynyk. Alvarado outside. Pass to Murray. Looking to end the run. Williams grabs the board. For Portland, they've gotten all 6 shots to fall in the fourth quarter. Coffee can't get it to go. The Pelicans have got 2 of 8 shots to drop in the final quarter. 1:43 left in the fourth. Knocked loose. Here's the three. Good! Another from 3.
Oh my, he is scorching hot. Another 3.
And he's approaching the franchise record for threes in a game. New Orleans has gone 1 for 3 in the fourth quarter from range.
And let's face it, this one was never really in question. They came out with purpose and just overwhelmed the opposition. A great win for the Trailblazers.
They made the most of the extra rebounds tonight. Helped them out a lot.
Now, when you look at these teams, they're both great rebounding clubs. And any night, either one could have the advantage on the boards.
And this one concludes with their second victory of the year.
And against a familiar opponent, it's nice to establish a psychological advantage with a win in the first game.
And of all the highlights and performances we've seen here tonight, the one thing that stands out is what an unbelievable night it's been for Red Hot.
Well, as a coach, it's so fun to watch a player dominate the game offensively like he did in this one.
40 seconds left to play in the fourth quarter of this one. To stop the drought. And
Wow! Well, when he takes off, Murray can put on a show in the air.
Impressive looks on the AT&T 5G Slam Cam. We've got 33 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Here's Coffee. Yet another bucket.
A 60-piece. Oh, my goodness. And it's not his first of the year.
Well, he's tied for the 4th most 60-point games during a single season. It's incredible. Murray for 3. Again, the miss by Murray. Here's Coffee. Takes the 3. And again for 3.
Oh, hot as a tea kettle. He is just firing away, and he has set a new record for the most triples ever in an NBA game.
Breaking his own record. We knew his reputation and the kind of shooting display he can put on. He's taken it to another level, though. So it's the Trailblazers winning this one easily. Well, this might not have been the most competitive game we've ever seen, but you've got to appreciate their masterful performance.
And I'm sure their fans appreciated it, too. We saw the outstanding defense and a loaded offensive effort. They were just dominant out there.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Coach Stan Van Gundy, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.